the members of the Empower Her chapter of the American Business Women's Association, our president, Dr. Gail Hamilton out of Florida, and as the founder of the Empower Her chapter. I'm going to please stand. There are members. We have members represented today. Our students that are members of the Empower Her chapter have gone home for the holiday, and we have members not only in Orangeburg County, but also across the nation. We want to thank you for believing in our vision and the legacy for generations to come of the Empower Her ABWA chapter here in Orangeburg County. I started this chapter for women in all the aspects of their careers and for them to have an opportunity to enhance themselves personally and professionally, not only the residents, but also beyond. Empower Her chapter is proud to celebrate 5 years here in Orangeburg County. We held our kickoff meeting March 29th, 2018, and charted May 20th, 2018, with over 100 women. Thank you, Orangeburg County, for supporting our efforts and our events to enhance women personally and professionally for their careers and to raise awareness, inspire, and celebrate the contributions that women have made and continue to make to the workforce. Thank you for the resolutions and the proclamations that you've given our chapter and our founder. Just to name a few of the great things that we've done for the women here in Empower Her chapter for the enhancement of their professional career. We were presented a resolution by the South Carolina House of Representatives at the 2023 South Carolina ABWA Day at the State House and Luncheon. We, 5 years standing, has earned the highest level of league best practices in ABWA nationally as level 1 best practice representing Orangeburg County. We have received in 2019 the Brilliance Unleashed Award for being one of the top 10 chapters in ABWA in only 5 years. Some national and local recognitions and state recognitions. Jessica Begoin, our immediate past president, is the vice president of the ABWA South Carolina Council. Brenda Austin, 2023 ABWA Top 10. Sonia Sims, 2024 ABWA Top 10 of American Businesswomen. Shanita Montford, an educator here in Orangeburg. She received a $30,000 free master's degree by being a member of the Empower Her chapter and by submitting for the scholarship to earn from ABWA and the National Central University full tuition. That deserves a hand clap. Myself, Brenda Austin, and Sonia Sims are graduates of KU University with Kansas School of Business. And we have 2 protege honorees. 2 of them are students from South Carolina State University, and one of them is here with us, Daniqua Brannon. And that's one of the highest honors in ABWA, first year member. Beja Hunt is our chapter financial director. She is also a protege honoree. And because she is majoring in accounting, we've given her an opportunity to be on our executive board for our chapter to enhance her skills as she goes out for her career.
Met a capital investment of $50 million minimum. Also, they there will be the creation of approximately 200 new jobs as a result of a project that will expand or retool existing and add new product lines to their production line. They are seeking a 50-year term as to the fee, and of course they want to place this project in a multi-county industrial park with Dorchester County. Thank you. What you see commonly is if they expand, it's common to just bring a new fee for a new investment. May it be a product line, may it be a retool. So usually you see them around 30 years, but again, it's catered towards the area that they're in, manufacturing when it comes to lawn care and lawn items.
Mr. Marion,
Yes.
did I get my cue from you?
Well, 50 years, as you stated, is don't normally see that, but it's not unusual. Yeah, so, but I took the recommendation of council and economic development commission.
You said how many, 200 new jobs?
Yes.
Yes.
And what time span should these jobs take?
Generally, it's within a 3 to 5 year investment period.
And then what's the security to ensure the jobs are maintained?
It's a promise. It's, there is no security when it comes to this. This is what they predict when it comes to an investment and what's needed when it comes to retooling their existing product line and adding product. So,
Well, they have a bad track record as far as seasonal employees in the past, and you're telling me that's not going to happen with the 50 years?
Yeah, so, yes, ma'am, you are correct. They have a new model that they are instituting, most likely company-wide, but we definitely know for Orangeburg County, that the new model is no more seasonality to their jobs anymore, because they have now realized how detrimental it was to that relationship to Orangeburg County. And so through that and the new leadership that they've brought in, probably within the last 2 years, they are now taking the seasonality out of it in an effort to rebuild that relationship.
So how much money are they giving to the county now, as far as taxes?
That's a wonderful question, ma'am. I don't know that off the top of my
Harold, do you
head.
know? Mr. Young,
Yes, ma'am.
how much money does AYP pay per year to the county?
I would have to look that up, but it's significant.
I can have that for you though easily. I mean, I'll pull that here and have it for y'all tomorrow. And that's easy. We can pull that up from their county records.
Yeah.
That's just a steep jump for 50 year on a promise.
Now, do understand, man, that there are clawbacks within this document. And so there are clawbacks inside of it. And so they have to meet the minimum. And then if they go above the minimum, there is another clawback that they have the potential of having to meet as well. So there are multiple clawbacks in this.
Well, can we table it for right now until we be able to see what's actually in the paperwork?
So the issue that we run into, ma'am, is that if we don't complete this before the end of the calendar year, their millage rate changes. And so they would be then subject to a higher millage rate. To Mrs. Walker's comment, I would say that Husqvarna itself as a company has gone through a right sizing. And so we aren't the only one that had the unfortunate of losing jobs. We are the beneficiary of some new technology, some new lines, and the likes of all that headed this way as they went through that right sizing. And that right sizing, I think, again, you'll find that seasonality, they had to remove that. And in an effort to do that, we're gonna make out with this new line. And I will also offer up there, Mr. Chairman and council members, we do have their attorney here, so if there's questions that you guys would like to have to him as well, but Mr. Ray Jones is here again, that can answer any questions that you guys may have. But I leave that up to you guys.
Mr. Chairman? Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I would like to follow up on a question asked by Ms. Walker.
Not unusual in
Absolutely.
the contracts.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to clarify one thing if I could. Jared absolutely and correctly described the overall term, but I wanted to, I guess, put that in, if I could, in perspective for council. What they've asked for is 10 years to make an investment. And you get 40 years of benefit in connection with each of those years of investment. So your investment you make in year 10, you would get 40 years of incentive on that investment. So it ends up being a total of 50 years, but it's a 40-year investment, a 40-year incentive period, which the county has done on a number of different occasions. And I also wanted to point out and echo what Mr. Johnson said, and that is that the company has looked across the country at its facilities. As you all are aware, there's a lot less folks out pulling a string to start something and a lot more folks putting a battery in something. And so, you know, Husqvarna is sort of coming to a crossroads of, you know, its business, what it calls gas powered and then what it calls its electric powered. And it's taking a lot of those product lines from across the country and bringing them to Orangeburg. And so, while I agree, Madam Attorney, absolutely, that they're not guaranteeing jobs, but they wouldn't be spending $50 million here if they didn't intend for those, all of that investment to then be deployed by good jobs here in Orangeburg. The other thing that has come up on this particular deal, and we talked to the company about this, we talked about the community, we talked about how long they've been here, we talked about the need to have good community relationships, and one of the things they put on the table for the county is for the county to be able to buy at wholesale prices, basically their cost, some of the things they make at that facility, which would help the county's grounds, other public works. And so there's a conversation to be had there that I wanted to make sure the council was aware of, that they want to make sure that the things that are being made, the zero-turn mowers, the other things being made at that factory, that the county has an opportunity to buy those at cost if that is of use to the county, because they want to be a partner to the county. So I just want to raise that with you all tonight. Echo everything that these gentlemen have said. I'm glad to answer any questions. They are fee in lieu of tax documents. We don't want to make them complicated, but the law makes them complicated. I will tell you that these documents are extremely similar to what the county and Husqvarna have entered into before. And generally we think it's good news that they're willing to make additional investment here and try to backfill some of the jobs that we know have been lost here. And they're excited about Orangeburg. Husqvarna views Orangeburg as one of the best business-friendly communities across the country that it does business in. And it doesn't make the offer of, you know, at-cost products to hardly any other community that it deals in, but it's made that offer to Orangeburg.
With the county's admiration for Husqvarna making a $50 million investment. That is substantial, and that is a contractual promise. Okay, so that's there. But I think what Ms. Walker was asking was about job security. And I think that Mr. Jones has been very clear that there are no guarantees other than on the clawback that there'll be 200 jobs added by some certain point in time. And I always thought it was between year 1 and year 5. It might be longer. But as to jobs that currently exist, or jobs that were not included in this 200. What I'm hearing from our economic development director, and I'd like to just check with you, Mr. Jones, is that Husqvarna now has a policy, not a promise to the county, but has a policy within its company of staying away from seasonal employment. So that there's no guarantee that there won't be any seasonal employment, but that is a business plan of Husqvarna's as opposed to a promise to the county. Is that correct? It just seems for years and years the length of the fee in lieu of tax has been 30 years. But if everybody else is doing 50 years everywhere else in the state, then I just, is that what the trend is?
You're absolutely right. It's changed since we started in this business. When we started, the term of an incentive would have been a 20-year incentive term. But just like this deal, you can invest for up to 10 years. So you would have had a 20 plus 10 or a total of 30. About 10 years ago, they sort of moved that so that you could get a 30-year investment term. So instead of 20, you'd go to 30. So that the total you could get would be 30 plus 10 or 40. Now, there's an opportunity to take it to 40 years. Yes, that's much more common these days, for sure, and I think you all probably see it too, that most of the deals that are coming through now are going to be that 40-year incentive term. So if you have a 10-year investment period, 40 plus 10 takes you to 50.
And so a 30-year investment term may be more appropriate for a $10 million investment or a $50 million investment.
And it's 0.2 miles west of the city of Orangeburg. The proposed request is currently under development. The properties are zone RG and to the north CG. The property owners were notified via U.S. mail. They were given the opportunity to submit comments electronically, via email, call directly, via phone, or submit in writing, or attend the meeting. There were no citizens to express opposition to the request, and Planning Commission presents this to you with unanimous approval.
Thank you, Mr. Administrator. Any questions from council on this? Can I get a motion second for third and final reading on item 3?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Moved by Ms. Lawrence Frazier and second by Ms. Cooper Smith for third and final reading on item 3. All in favor, say aye. Antonio Bureau to rezone property at 106 Louis Court in Holly Hill, tax map number 0319-00-01-042 from Forest Agriculture District, Commercial General District, Mr. Administrator.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. The Planning Commission met on December 13, 2023, to discuss the recommendations of Antonio Ribeiro to have property at 106 Louis Court in Holly Hill rezone from Forest and Agriculture to Commercial General. The site is made up of one parcel with 2.09 acres. The property is approximately 2.4 miles west of the town of Holly Hill. The lot has access to Louis Court. The adjacent property owners were notified via mail about the meeting. They were given the opportunity to submit comments electronically, via email, via phone, or attend in person. There were no citizens to express their opposition, and there were no citizens to express their support. The applicant, along with the translator, spoke in support of the request. The Planning Commission, after public hearing and discussion, made a recommendation for a unanimous denial.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Administrator. At this time, could I get a motion and a second to follow the Planning Commission recommendation?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Lewis Frazier and second by Mr. McAllister that we follow the Planning Commission recommendation for denial. All in favor of it, let me know by saying aye. Aye. Item number 2 on the agenda.
So moved, Mr. Chair. Second.
Moved by Mr. Ravenel, second by Mr. McAllister that we go into executive session for discussion of item number 2. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Thank you all so very much.